only on esportbf.com.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to ESB Season 1 of our tournament. We're going to be starting off with Obliteration today. It is seVen versus... I've forgotten now what the name is. seVen versus CHiPs. I've got it eventually. I was going to say Crisps, but that's a UK thing. It is CHiPs, so it's CHiPs versus seVen. We're going to be jumping into Spearhead to start with. And we're going to be jumping over to other maps as well. The third game mode will not be Obliteration, but will be Flashpoint. So stay tuned for that one. I'm being joined today by the man himself, the holy man, Mr. Doers.
Hey guys, how's it going? Man, you're making me hungry with all that chips talk, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, I almost said crisps. It's a UK thing. It is a UK thing. Right, so we are just currently waiting. I believe we're in a burn round at the moment. Is that right?
We should be, but I think the teams might have gotten a little bit too into it and might have started already. So I'm trying to communicate with them on Discord. Hopefully we can get that message through.
No, that's fair enough. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye out for that one. But we are going to be jumping into Spearhead to start with. Jumping over to Arica Harbor as the map number 2, and the map number 3 will be Flashpoint. So we've got 3 maps today. Like I said, we have got Squad Obliteration twice, and then we have got Flashpoint at the end. So the 2 totally different game modes, and I believe we're going to be showing you an explanation of each in just... Well, we're going to be showing you the explanation of Squad Obliteration first, and I believe Flashpoint will be a little bit later.
Oh! 3 pushing right. Nice. One more. Nice.
One out.
3 dead.
Another base coming to.
Yes.
Res me.
I got 1. Nice.
Come on, guys.
Okay, welcome back, guys. That was Squad Obliteration. Now, that is a fan favorite back in the days from old Battlefield competitive. If you only hail back from Battlefield 4 days, then you'd understand what that is. And it's back. It is back for 2042. We will be showing Flashpoint a little bit later. Duez, have you got any more on Squad Obliteration for us?
Right now, before we do that, I do think the teams did go ahead and go live without waiting for our start, and they are not responding because they're right in the thick of it, so I think we might just go right into the match.
Okay, right, that's fair enough. So, just an FYI, guys, we have got ourselves POVs from 2 of the members of each, well, 1 of the members of each team. We've got 2 POVs in total, and we've also got our point of view as well, mine and Duez, but it's not an actual free cam spectator mode, more of a third person over the shoulder type view. So we'll try and give you an overview of both what we're seeing as spectators and also the view of one of each of the players from each team. So we're going to be jumping into it. Like I said, guys, we're on Spearhead to start with, and they're getting a bit spicy. They're getting into the game. They're going to be looking to plant those bombs. Right, so I'm jumping over to Cincy now. A few of these players from seVen I have actually played with, and I've also casted with prior. So I know a few of these guys, like LoJack, I know Cincy, and on the opposition team there, we have got a few that I don't actually recognize. So we've got some new players as well, which is great. It's always good to see new players fresh in the Battlefield scene, and especially in competitive as well. So that's always good to see. Now, it looks like at the moment we're playing outside. We've got Lowjacks actually going inside of the main factory in Spearhead at the moment here, inside of what they call these buildings, by the way, Doers. They've got a weird name to them, haven't they? They're a factory, but they're like a massive cube. Is it the cubes?
We can call them the cubes, to be honest. That works for me.
Okay, they are now called the cubes. So we've got cube number 1, so cube number 2 is actually further away on the other side of the battlefield, but we'll never see that in this. We're just sticking to cube number 1. And looks like there is a lot of infighting going on at the moment inside one of the outer corridors, where we can see actually one of the bomb sites have already been planted and is already counting down there. And looks like the defense is falling. And I feel like seVen's got this in the bag. I actually do feel like they've got it.
Yeah, I think seVen are definitely the favorites coming into this.
He's 90
a little bit more of an
He's 90 in
experienced
front
team.
of you.
Yeah, so if we jump ourselves over to one of the POV from seVen themselves, and we can actually see, are we over to Cincy by any chance? No, we're not. We're over to Lowjacks. So we're over to Lowjacks at the moment. Now, Lowjacks himself coming in with Sundance. So one of the assault specialists from Battlefield 2042. Rocking what seems to be an M4, I believe. It's hard to see it from my point of view. It might actually be the AK. Let's bring up his feed myself personally. So it's not. It's actually the it's an SMG. So it's actually like the UMP lookalike. It's not the UMP. It's got its own name. I think it's the VPX, I believe. It looks like we've got a nice bit of they're just waiting inside at the moment. We got a countdown here. Without bringing up the map itself. Right, okay, so they're fighting over the middle section at the moment. And it looks like they're going to be trying to push out towards the next bomb site, but they're having a massive problem.
You can spawn me if you need to, Sensi. You're good.
I want to spawn on the other one.
Just saying, Lowjacks has got himself a left-hand flank here.
Right again.
Now he is going to have to pull himself
right?
behind, so he's just being peeked at by the enemy.
Yeah.
Since he's
we're
coming
gonna-
out and pushed forward as well. Going over towards the back of a tank wreck at the moment. And looks like Lowjacks is going around the right side towards Riverbed as well. They are looking to try and get angles here. But again, when you're defending and you're holding those head glitches, you're holding those angles, it's very hard to push forward without having to pick off one or two. Looks like Pharaoh will be going down to Sandy. And this could actually mean the right side will open up now. I just see Zuba get absolutely smashed by Cincy as well. Sandy does go down to Pharaoh, but again, Cincy's there backing him up. And looks like Cincy will be going down as well, leaving Lowjacks on his own here on the right flank. He has got Sandy coming back in. And he is rocking my personal favourite. The Medic Falk. So what do you think, Duez? How do you think this is going so far for both teams?
I think seVen is being fairly dominant to start it off. Give me just 1 second. Forgive me. Little technical issue on my end.
Oh,
Heard.
they're all on God Hoodies on the left.
Please just go prime.
One coming out of their spawn.
Here, let's go, Lo. Come on, let's
With
get
you,
up.
with you.
Yeah, we got kills. We got kills. Let's go.
One right side.
I'm not gonna
Oh, wide right, wide right, wide right. Can I get help wide
I'm
right?
planting, I'm planting.
Managed to
He's
push all the
dead,
way
wide
forward.
right.
Yeah, managed to push all the way forward. Nice bit of communication coming in from seVen as well. And looks like they actually get themselves straight into the bomb site. I believe the bomb's actually planted. I did hear the MCOM ticking over there, but I cannot hear it any longer. I don't know if it was from the feed of one of the guys off seVen there that could hear it a lot clearer than we can. Yeah, it is. The bomb has been planted. Yeah, the bomb is being
yeah,
at the moment by
it's
seVen.
I do. It's working now.
By the looks of it, they have
No
got the
way.
claim on it. There is
Pushing left,
incoming
two.
RPG from the left side there
left.
of chips.
Nice.
I'm going to bring
He's
up
by
the
me,
scoreboard
Sandy.
in a second, and we're going to have a
Defuse
look at those kill to death feeds. And it looks like, wait, I think the diffuse went off then. No, he didn't. He didn't get the diffuse, so it's still ticking over. I'm going to bring up the kill feed there, and let's have a look at the kill to death ratios, kills versus death, assists, and medical revives, and supplies as well. Just before the end of the game there. So it looks like seVen is going to come in victorious at 23 and 11 to Sandy Cheeks. I love the name, by the way. Cincy with the 21 and 13. Mr. Green Reaper himself coming in with that 12 and 10. Pharaoh on the opposite team there, 14, 15, 11 and 10 to Myla, and Nico with the 15 and 8. GG's to both teams. We're going to be jumping sides, I believe. And we're going to be watching CHiPs now on the attack versus seVen on the defense.
All right, we're back. Sorry. A little bit of an issue here.
No worries. So, Duez. I feel like seVen. Now, coming from seVen originally, from Battlefield 5 and all the way into 2042 now, they seem to be still carrying themselves real well. I don't know if you have any personal experience seeing how seVen plays, but they are very much of an aggressive team. Quite a few of the members of seVen come from, I don't know if you remember, but an old Xbox team called CSL. And were pretty much at forefront of most competitive tournaments and games, even in ESB, coming out on top next to Skyfall. So it's always nice to see these players still carrying on their competitive journey into 2042, and hopefully they'll carry on to the next Battlefield as well.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely great to see veteran players around and still sticking to the scene. And even if they move to PC, just seeing them around and still dominating. You know, when you're talented, you're talented. Especially now, consider the North Americans playing on a European server, so there's a little bit of a disadvantage. But you know, that experience is still showcasing here.
Yeah, and also the change from console to PC for Cincy has been pretty flawless. I know for a fact he was a console player to start with, goes to PC, and it just shows it's not just about what input you use, but the experience you take with you, where it comes down to rotations, how to hold angles, that sort of stuff as well. It just shows that you can carry that with you and still do relatively well despite moving to a new system and a new control system of that. So, in this now, we've got seVen on defense. So they're going to be looking to defend against CHiPs here. Now, CHiPs are going to be in the offense. On my side, I can see what seVen's doing in that third-person mode. And I've also got the first-person mode up on both sides from each of their POVs as well. So we can actually comment on what they're doing there in their first-person POVs. Duos, on the other hand, though, has CHiPs first-hand in that third-person mode. So we're going to shoot over to Duez there. And can you explain to us what CHiPs are up to?
CHiPs are definitely trying to push up a little bit. If you can see from the leaderboard, they haven't managed to get any kills so far.
Yeah, I can see they're being held pretty well in the corridors there inside of the Cube 1. Sandy Cheeks at the moment there, being the medic, he's able to get the revive and keep his teammates straight back up. And the thing is with seVen, once they get that momentum going, they're able to roll into the enemy, and they'll actually probably end up keeping them back into their spawn. Now, what I want to see CHiPs do is break through one flank. If they break through one flank and manage to push through, and even if they get hidden slightly, you're just able to get those spawns off then. And then once you get those spawns off, then you can start ratting from behind. And it'll put seVen a little bit of a disadvantage there. They're going to have to try and clear it out and then start pushing again. And that's where you start losing that momentum. But at the moment, seVen still hold that momentum nice and firm. So we're just jumping over to Lowjacks there, which we have got the first-person view for as well. So we can jump over to Lowjacks' first-person view. He's about to spawn back in. He unfortunately just went down. But it's always good to see Lowjacks there. I'm going to have to redeploy him again.
Yeah, the beauty of 2042 spectator mode, or whatever you want to call this, you know.
So look at Lowjacks' first-person view. It looks like he's rocking towards the bomb at the moment. Now, the bomb site, I don't believe has been planted. Oh no, the bomb has been planted, so they're going to have to actually go in and try and defuse this. Now, looking at Lowjacks' first-person view there, he's able to get himself a juicy headshot, taking out one. Unfortunately, since he is down and out at the moment here, Sandy Cheeks also going down, which means he's the last man alive here. Now, he is going to try and get that smoke out and go for the defuse. He can anchor for his teammates, but we're looking at 35 seconds. His two other squad mates who are in a different squad totally are going to be looking to move in as well and try and help. Looks like Cincy's on the defuse at the moment, and I think that's going to be a successful defuse as well. Lovely push there by seVen, able to keep hold of that bomb site there. And looks like there's like Lowjacks moving up here, since he's going to be moving up forward as well. And they're going to be trying to take the forward front and get on that front line and stop the enemy from progressing any further. Right. So just jumping back over to Cincy's third-person view there. He is actually chilling on another one of the bomb sites at the moment. He's got his teammate to his right side, the foul player, which I believe is Sandy Cheeks. There, utilizing a head glitch. Unfortunately, does go down, and I believe that was actually shots from behind that took him down. So it's put Cincy in a bit of a pinch position, where he's now having to sit inside of a shipping container, very much chilling for the moment here, seeing if his teammates will spawn off on him there, and unfortunately did get pushed. He was stuck in there. There was no chance of him getting out of that. So unfortunately that's going to be a pretty full wipe there. Once Sandy Cheeks go down, looks like LoJax is flying into battle there. Being Sundance, that is a special ability. Able to just fly and float into the objective and close that distance very quickly. Okay, since you're going down, LoJack's last man alive here on seVen's side. I think we should go and have a look at the first-person view from CHiPs and see what they're up to. Right. The first thing I see, my man is underneath the bridge. So, nice push coming in here. I believe this is Nico, right? The Nico being... No, it's not Nico. So we've just seen the medic going off there. It's Myla. So Myla's going to be looking to push up here. He's got his teammates with him. Getting those heals off as well. Trying to get to that bomb site. The smokes are going out and the bomb will actually be planted there. I don't think seVen is in a position to try and defend that at the moment. I know since he's up there somewhere. But again, yeah, the bomb has been planted. We've got movement inside now of Spearhead Cube 1. And bomb number 2 may actually get planted as well. Let's see how... let's see how Myla does. Got the bomb now. Gonna be looking around. Can hear movement slightly. Oh, spotted it. Spotted the enemy there. He's actually got one to his right flank as well. So he's got to be careful. He's got to pull himself back there. He's going to get pinched. Is he able to get away from this? Oh, yeah, he is indeed. Looks like he's going to have to wait, though, however. Let's see if he gets himself a kill. He has got no backup at the minute, though, which is real strange. Normally, you'd be hand in hand with the enemy. Not with the enemy, sorry, with your own teammates. Gets a few shots off. Gets hold of one, but there we go. Casual goes down, but Green Reaper coming in for the backup there. Nico coming in a little bit late, able to get the kill. The smoke goes off. And looks like we're going to have a revive from Zupper. And that means he's back into the fight again. But I don't think any bombs have gone off yet.
No, they haven't. I'm actually impressed. However, oh yeah, one of the seVen guys just loaded back in as he had disconnected, so...
Oh, really? Okay. Yes, a little bit of a disadvantage there for seVen, but still able to hold themselves nicely. I'm just going to go have a look at seVen and see what they're up to at the moment, that third-person view again. Let's see what they're up to. So, LoJax, since he's inside of the factory itself at the moment here, along with Sandy Cheeks. LoJax is holding what seems to be actually the rear, sorry, no, the front line of one of the corridors there, and unfortunately will get dropped. He was on his own, he got pinched in. Since he coming in there with a backup, they're able to take down yet another. Snake going down. Sandy Cheeks getting hold of Pharaoh. LoJax coming back into the game. Unfortunately, he's got to run all the way back in, but being Sundance again, if he gets the jump off, he's able to close that distance quite nicely.
They did plant C.
Yeah, and I do see Cincy actually on top of the objective, and I believe he just defused it. He did. Yeah, the defuse came in there.
Yeah, he did.
So jump back over to LoJax. He's actually got that right flank. So he actually has got that right flank there, and his teammates are moving up to the front line. So this is what I was talking about when seVen is able to close the distance and just put that pressure on. And stopping CHiPs from pretty much any breathing room. Sandy Cheeks coming in with the kill there against Nico. How is the flanks looking, by the way, for the CHiPs guys? Are they able to get themselves past, or is seVen holding them in quite nicely here?
No, they seem to be holding them in quite nicely. I think they're seVen's clearly going for F down there, but there aren't... CHiPs isn't able to get close enough to make enough of a difference. Plus that smoke is really obscuring the view and making it hard for CHiPs to push up. Yeah, see, that's the problem with smoke. So it has its benefits of the defender, but like every smoke, you push with smoke, you defend with smoke, right? So you've kind of got to follow your gut whether you want to charge through that smoke and go for the kill, or even try and get past and sneak past the enemy. Now, the bad thing about having a defending smoke is if you pop in the wrong spot, you give the enemy an advantage. If you pop in the right spot, and for example in the doorway,
you've got yourself a really effective chokehold where you can actually just catch a lot of enemies off point, especially if they just run straight through the door. They're not looking in their corners, or they can't look in their corners, and they can just get slotted. And Sandy Cheeks, being a cheeky man, unfortunately does get shut down by Zupper for it. Zupper also trying the same fate, goes down to low jacks. And looks like the riverbed is
I think
taken by
Chips
Chips.
definitely needs to get some sense of urgency right now, because with 7 up 2-0 from the previous map, previous side, you know, Chips needs to get both bombs here to even out the map.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Sandy Cheeks there, he's got himself the most dirtiest looking angle there, utilising the small gap in the fencing to get a few shots off, holding that left side of the riverbed flank, just making sure the enemy of Chips cannot push up and go for a bomb plant there. Looks like Lojack's coming back in again to Sundance, since he all the way moved up as well. Jumping over to Chips first person view once again. Let's see how their push is going to be coming back into the fight. So we're jumping back over to Myla, who is, I got a feeling, maybe going for the head glitch there on the green boxes. And looks like they're going to be opting to go for D here. A note goes down as he jumps through that door. So I'm talking about that door. Is not a, well, you can charge through a door, and I'd say about 2 out of 10 times you'd make it through that door, right, without being shot, without being able to hear the enemy either. So that was like a headless charge in the hope of urgency to try and get into the objective at least. And unfortunately get shut down for it. So that's where smoke would benefit you in some ways. But I could kind of see the urgency, especially with the guys of SeVen holding so well at pretty much every flank point.
Yeah, 20 seconds until D explodes.
Oh, they got the flank off. And is that a detonation coming in? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Nice. Well played to Chips. Able to get that detonation off against SeVen. Now, in the meantime, I believe SeVen's already moved up to the front line once again.
No, it's SeVen that scored the point, not Chips.
Oh, right,
He is on
okay.
Chips' side.
I'm in reverse.
That's
I'm in
3-0
reverse
for-
here. Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I was in reverse. I was in reverse thinking it's the opposite side. Right, okay, that's my bad. Okay, so SeVen's planting up against Chips then. So, in the... How many... Wait. So what's the score then in
3-0
regards to both
right now.
teams? Oh, damn,
3-0
right,
for
okay.
7.
SeVen coming in with a massive lead. Actual gig
Yeah,
lead.
That's a great way to make sure you're securing that map.
And looks like SeVen's been full wiped. Sandy is back into the game at the moment here. I always know when it's a full wipe because I actually get removed from the spectator mode at that point. So that's
Kind
a
of
nice
like
way
a
to...
spectator revolution, aren't you happy?
Very true, very true. Remove me from spectator view. So I'm just going to be jumping over to Chips once again and see what they're up to. So they're actually in the main section of the factory at the moment. They're actually looking to flank over towards the right side of Alpha, which is next to that riverbed. But I don't... Oh, straight in to Mr. Sandy Cheeks. He does get shut down by Pharaoh. So Pharaoh coming in with a hand holding there. And looks like they're still going to be pushing up and trying to get that defend. Yeah, I mean... It's weird because what I'm seeing on their side of the POV is a lot further ahead than it is in me in actual game. So by the looks of it, there might still be a... Wait, that don't make sense. There's a little bit of a spectator delay for me then in that regard. Well, my game's delayed.
It could be. Seems pretty live on my end.
It might just be on my end. Okay. So SeVen moving up once again. Oh my god, since he's got a massive flank. Coming in 1 kill there as he takes down Myla. He is holding now inside the corridor with the busted window. He's going to be looking to try and take down yet another. He comes out and gets us a few shots off. And Sandy Cheeks clearing up on Nico and Zupper. And that is it. That is Cheeks cleaned. Cheeks.
Yeah, they're about to plan F and call it a game.
Cheeks clean. It is pretty much cheeks clean, to be honest.
Not like disliking, come on.
It's where English just goes out the window. you just got to go with the flow. Just got to go with the flow. Right, Cheeks coming over that flank there. He does get shut down by Myler. But yeah, they've got the plan. They're holding firm at the front line. How's Chips looking? Are they able to try and get for that defuse?
Not really. Not really at all. They're kind of stuck.
It is a super hard one. It's inside of the...
they're just having
portal.
a head glitch fest on fans. And so I don't think it's happening. Oh, one of them is almost made it on. He died right on the MCOM he died. And with the MCOM exploding in 10 seconds, I don't think they got it.
Yeah, Low Jack's on the hot defense there. He was already waiting for it. Either heard it clear as day or just watching that door like an absolute hawk. But going back to the feed there, 21-13 to Green Reaper, Cincy with the 16-10, 18-11 to Cheeks, Nico 19-12, 15-15 to Pharaoh, and Zuppo with that 11-16. We, I believe, are switching maps. Is that right?
We are, yeah. And that sadly means also switching servers. So
okay, so we will be back shortly, guys,
and we'll be back.
Yeah, so we'll be back shortly, guys. Stay tuned, and yeah, back in it. Welcome, English. Hello, welcome back, guys, to seVen versus Chip. We are over on Arica Harbor, and we're going to be jumping in pretty damn quickly. I'm on seVen side again. One of the personal favorite maps of mine from the portal system inside of Battlefield 2042, and they're actually going to be fighting on the harbor itself. Now there is two banned areas, one on top of one of the construction sites, and the other on top of the cranes. Hopefully we don't see any of that, but if they do, they just automatically fall dead anyway. So there's going to be no foul play there. Anyway, we're jumping in because they're getting into the fight. Let me get into my little spectator view.
Help! Grenade! Grenade!
Right, so jumping into looking at Cincy here. We got Cincy, Low Jackson, Sandy Cheeks once again, and they're going for that nice cheeky push here, and they're actually underneath one of the first cranes. Low Jack's going in for that right-hand flank at the moment. I wonder if he's going to take straight over the top of that fence. Or straight through the fence, like an absolute juggernaut. We have got one man on top of the building there. Who is it? Is one of his teammates by the looks of things. It's probably either Green Reaper or Casual. I think it might be Reaper. Playing as Irish. And if we jump into the first-person view mode of the man himself, Mr. Low Jacks, let's see what he's currently up to. So actually on the MCOM itself, planting the bomb, getting it ready to rock and roll. And he's going to be looking to hold here at the inner side of this construction site. So let's see if Chip's able to come in for the defuse there. It's going to be a very hard one indeed. This is a pain to push. It looks like he's already got one kill taking out the snake. His teammates are actually there.
That's definitely a hard bomb to reconquer.
Yeah, I mean you've got so many angles to defend from. You've got the staircase there, you've got the explosion of the wall there, you know, you've got that big old gap. And you can come in from the outsides as well. It is a very, very hard one to push. And I haven't seen any smoke being planted in there though. And normally the smoke would definitely help you. Sandy Cheeks on the outside, Cincy both on the outside as well. It's not looking good for Chips at the moment. Let's jump over to Chip's first person view from Myler and have a look, see what they're up to.
Yeah, plus you gotta keep in mind that this is seVen's map pick, so they're extra prepared on this one. While Spearhead was Chips' map pick, so you know I don't think Chips is as prepared for this map coming in. Plus they are playing on US servers, so now seVen does have a little bit of an advantage as well. So those are all things to consider. Outside of the great positioning that seVen has.
Yeah, so when, you know, your ping differences plus, you know, a map that you're not really used to as such. I mean, you probably played it a few times, but not, you know, not being a pick and having Spearhead as your first initial pick is your, you know, your map of choice and your favorite map to play at that point. I mean, again, Arica Harbor is a hard one because most of it is open until you get into the village itself. You can currently see it on Chip's end of things. Just to get back into the fight, they've got to cross quite a lot of open ground and quite a lot of deflating hill just to be able to get back in. And this is just going to allow seVen just to hold those head glitches, get those angles off. And
they already planted F.
Yeah, they planted F again as well. And not only that, you're looking into a an urban area where there's a lot of cover versus your area, which is just rocks and high ground. So it's definitely a very hard push to get into. Jumping over now to see what LoJax, Cincy, and Sandy Cheeks are up to. I mean, they're just holding angles. They're loving it right now. They know they've got the bomb site planted, and LoJax, for example, holding on top of one of the terrain trailers there, right next to the bomb site. Cannot see an enemy in sight there, and that's because Cincy and Sandy Cheeks are at the front line there with the teammates of Green Reaper and Casual just holding the front. And like I said, watching the enemy coming over the hill there, just out in the open, and that's how quick it was. The GG's there for the very first round. Looking at the leaderboard, Cincy with 11-1, absolutely smashing it. 6-3 for Sandy Cheeks, Reaper there with a 3-2. Pharaoh on the other side there for Chips coming with a 3-7. 2-5 to Zupa and Milo with the 1-4. Very quick game to go through there, but you could kind of see the way the game was coming out for poor Chips. As they was trying to cross open in that open ground, but they just wasn't getting past into the urban area, and it is very hard to hold once you've come out in the open.
Yeah, for sure. I think that early dropping early kills really helped seVen set up, and then Chips just struggled coming back into it, and that was a very quick setup. I'm curious to see what happens here, and if I do think seVen will kind of dominate Chips again. I am curious to see both these teams on Flashpoint, because I know it is a game mode seVen isn't as used to playing. I've seen Chips do pretty good on it, so since they're going to be back on EU server, I'm really hoping to see maybe a different side to Chips to at least get one map back home.
Yeah, see, I'm more in tune with Flashpoint than I am Squad Obliteration. Now, I did see a lot of Squad Obliteration back in the day on Battlefield 4, but I personally myself played Flashpoint quite a bit, so it'll be very interesting to see how seVen reacts with Flashpoint. It is a totally different mode, and it can be very punishing, especially when you're on the constant rotations as well. Getting those rotations down, and we will explain more what Flashpoint is after this game is concluded, and we'll be going into the third map. And if you guys are not up to date with what Flashpoint is, essentially it's a bit like King of the Hill. You got to find an objective, you hold it, and then you rotate. Or Hardpoint, yeah. Call of Duty. Yeah,
it's like Hardpoint. King of the Hill that's moving every 60 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much. Right, so jumping back to the game, now I've gone to my cheeky little spectator view. Jumping over to LoJax, Cincy, and Mr. Cheeks. And looks like they're already halfway up towards the cranes at the moment here. On Chip's side of things, we're just going to bring up their view as well. We're going to go over to Duis's third-person view. And we're going to have a look, see what's going on there. If you want to carry on for me, Duis, and what Chip's up to? How's their attack going?
Execute the plan.
Still in the middle, trying to move up a little bit. Not much success yet, to be honest. Just a little bit of a head glitch trading. We're going to see Snake go down from Cincy, Zupa go down from Casual, and Mila go down from Low, so not looking very good. Pharaoh really does need to stay alive to get those spawns back in.
Yeah, and I've just spotted Mila there. He was going for the push towards the initial bomb site, but goes straight through the shipping container, and unfortunately, since he's waiting for him, since he was literally just there, just chilling, and just finds him and instantly takes him down. And the big issue as well is you kind of don't want to wipe your squad. I know it'll be hard for Milo and Nico because they're only a two-man squad versus a three-man squad. But you kind of see. I just heard a bomb plant, by the way.
Yeah.
I just heard that cheeky little bomb plant.
Looks like they planted C. No, B. They planted B, I think.
Yeah, B and Cincy waiting in between two containers just finds Pharaoh. Just call him out in the open, takes him down. A bit of a big fight going on between LoJax, and unfortunately LoJax will be going down there as well. So it is looking like Chips has got themselves a bit of a foothold. The jump straight in, goes down again. Green Reaper already waiting patiently for him. I'm just watching LoJax fly into battle as he's making his way back to the battlefield very quickly, being that Sundance.
Disarming. There you go.
Yeah, got the disarmed. Just about. Yeah, we heard the initial last, like the distinctive sound of an MCOM about to blow up, and they just managed to get on it and get the defuse just in time. So well played there, well played indeed.
I definitely like seeing seVen so aggressive here, despite them being in a comfortable lead. They're really not giving any breathing room to CHiPs and really putting that pressure on.
Yeah, and it just shows an aggressive manner of a certain team as well. Like, I've always known seVen to be aggressive, right? But they can also be very good at being passive-aggressive defense, where they would literally pull themselves back, wait for the right moment, and then they would come in and hit like a jackhammer and push through and punch through. They did it a lot on Battlefield 5, and they're showing it again in Battlefield 2042. They take their fights like very tactically, like for example holding angles. For example, Sandy Cheeks here, utilizing the concrete barrier there, goes prone, pulls himself up, and finds two members of CHiPs just crossing out in the open because they didn't see him. Just waiting for those moments to take those fights and getting those flanks.
Another plant. They planted C on railway.
Yep, so that was LoJax, now making his way over towards the other bomb site, Bravo, and it finds himself a fight with Myla, and unfortunately does get dropped straight away. Since he utilizing the air conditioning on top of one of the rooftops here, and is holding a beautiful angle over the MCOMs, and is just able to hold that. That is a monstrous angle. It's going to try and stop CHiPs from pushing any further. You can see the whole map pretty much, the whole playable version of the map from that position alone. And is that going to be a detonation?
There's 15 seconds.
We've got LoJax holding right next to it. Cheeks inside of Bravo. Since he's still on the roof.
Yeah. They're way too far away. Impossible they get that on time. That's a 5, 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's gone.
Yep, detonation. So I'm wondering now to see what Sandy Cheeks is up to, being Falk. Actually getting very aggressive here. Finds another angle, pulls himself around. Again, managing to pull away from that engagement. That's absolutely nuts. There was quite a few members of CHiPs firing it in there, but he still just manages to slither away. And they are just pushed straight up to the front line here. They're actually literally on top of the spawn of CHiPs. I wonder what CHiPs is up to. Are they going to be able to get themselves punched through here? Because seVen is literally holding them back.
It's hard to finish your map on Squad Obliteration this way because
it is.
You're losing 3-0. That means you've essentially lost the map because there's no way you can come back with the score to even it out. So you're trying to not lose too much momentum going into the next map on Flashpoint. You don't want to go in there discouraged, but it's not easy. You wanna, even if you do go 2-1 here with that 2-0 from earlier, that just doesn't happen. So I don't know. I really hope they can get to the next map mentally well, even if Bravo's just getting planted right now as we speak. So I don't know. Might be over before we saw it. Yeah,
I mean, like you were saying with team morale, you can take a massive hit to team morale, especially if you start getting like slammed constantly after each other, and you don't have any like breathing room to try and get yourself into a nice position. Hopefully Flashpoint will show a different side to CHiPs, and hopefully they can come in pounding in the next game. And I do hope they put seVen on their feet in that next game, which is, by the sounds of it, may be happening sooner than we think. The bomb has once again been planted, and CHiPs flooding in and wiping the squad of LoJax. So wiping all three of those members off the board. And I believe that was a defuse.
There was. They said not yet. They're hearing us. They're hearing us. They're like, hey, well, you talking shit? We're done. No, we're not done.
So jumping over now to Myla on that first person view. Let's see what they're up to. So back in. So this is the two-man squad primarily. So we're missing the third-man squad, but they are moving side by side at the moment, and they're actually going straight in. Now that was smoke going out nice and effective there as well. So they're able to get themselves in close distance. A bit of pre-fire through the smoke to try and get a hit marker or two. And they're going for that left flank, heading towards the construction area here to go for Alpha, I believe. Oh, beautiful grenade coming in from seVen's side though. Doesn't get the connection quite though, but it did literally land on top of Milo's head. But LoJack's there, able to come in with a beautiful triple kill. Takes down Milo, Nico, and Zupper. And just moves past on that right flank towards Cranes.
Fuck it.
Yeah, that bomb is headed right back to Bravo. And with the whole of chips coming out of spawn, I don't know if seVen sets up.
Yeah, it's devastating. When your squad gets wiped and you take it back to the initial spawn point, that could be the decider between a loss and a win. Especially for the fact you've got a long way to go back to getting back into the fray. And not only that, you've got to travel even further to get to those bomb sites. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because you kind of want to do a last hurrah and push in as a full group. But sometimes you just want to keep the anchor man behind. You know, if your squad goes down, but you got one man alive, you got a good 10 seconds worth from a spawn.
Yeah.
Just alone.
I mean, look at now. There's 18 seconds left on the bomb. They're just coming out of spawn. You know, getting those wipes in now 10 seconds. That's gonna be very difficult. So I think unless they pull out a miracle, this is gonna be it for this side.
Yeah, I mean, since he's pushed all the way up to the front there, utilizing the building, and I believe that is GG's.
Right from the back. Oh yeah, that was. What
So
a
jumping
way to
into
end
the
round
scoreboard.
dominantly.
Again, and in the scoreboard, I mean, Pharaoh did an amazing job there for chips, coming in with 13 and 12, so definitely fragging for his team. 17 and 9 to Sandy Cheeks, Green Reaper that 12 and 6, 11 and 4 to LoJack's, Nico 7 and 8, 4 and 10 to Myla. An overall rough map for chips, but we're about to jump into Flashpoint, so we're jumping into a different game mode, and we're gonna have a see in what that's about.
Yeah.
So
we do have to give Pharaoh a shout out from chips because he's still putting 13 kills on Eastern servers. Maybe they're not as used to it. I know chips. I know seVen is more of an international team, and I've played a lot of people overseas. So I'm slowly getting that experience as well.
So where does chips hail from though in the European scape? Because that also
chips are Italian from my knowledge.
Oh, okay. So they actually get a worse off ping than your than like for example if you're UK or France or around that area.
100%. They're definitely playing on between 90 to 120 easy right now.
Yeah.
Depending on their connection. So.
Okay, so we're going to be jumping into Flashpoint. Give us a quick rundown of Flashpoint.
So, Flashpoint. Funny enough, the next map we're going to be playing is called Flashpoint on our game mode, Flashpoint. You're going to have 6 different Flashpoints that appear one at a time throughout the map. There's a predefined order, and teams will have to fight for each one by being close to them. I think we're gonna pop in a little explainer video in just a second that has some visual representation of it. But essentially, as long as you have more people than the other team on the Flashpoint, your team is gonna score points. And the idea is to get to 300 points or have the most amount of Flashpoints by the end of the 14-minute timer. And then we're gonna play 2 sides of that, so at the end of both sides, the team with the most points will win the map.
There you go. That's probably the best explanation you can get off of Duez. It's better than mine. I'll tell you what, mine was calling it King of the Hill.
I mean, look, I would hope that I had a little bit of a better explanation since I did develop the mode. It would be kind of bad if I didn't know how it was played. So, yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, we've got ourselves a hardline scenario from Call of Duty. If you're a Call of Duty player and you're watching this today, or a moving King of the Hill, if you're a Halo player in particular as well. And yeah, that's Flashpoint. So we're going to be jumping in just a moment, but I believe we're going to be jumping over to a video with a bit more explanation to it.
We'll be able to spot out one. We'll clean him up. Looks for number 2 and finds him. Good solid hold here in the middle as number 3 does pop on through. We'll be able to pick up number 4. Beautiful hold so far. Spotting out one on the stairs. Late to the rotations right now, but we should be able to see some fires. Nice job. We'll be able to take down 1. Looks for 2. Finds him right here. If they can pick up this 3rd one, breaks the Flashpoint wide open.
Galloing. Okay, one more behind. Hold on, spawn is it. Coming towards me.
Go. Oh, there it is. That's what we've been looking for. This is what ESB is all about, baby.
Well then, guys, that was Flashpoint. A cheeky little view into what's to come. We're going to be jumping over to the map Flashpoint, funny enough, for our game of Flashpoint. We're just waiting to get into the server. And once we're in, we're going to see the action kick off. So, seVen versus CHiPs. CHiPs coming in from Italy, or Italian. And seVen, majority, I believe, I know they're a bit more of an international team, but they're majority East Coast players from the United States.
Confirmed.
So, there is going to be a distinct ping difference between both teams. But I believe, have we got a round switch between these? So we're starting with European server, then jumping to an NA server, are we?
Yeah, and then we're swapping back to European server as each team plays each other twice during the season, and each of them are home team once. And as is the first time they're playing, CHiPs is the home team, so they're hosting 2 servers EU and 1 server NA. And then when they meet up in a couple weeks again, it'll be the other way around. They'll have 2 servers NA because seVen will be the home team, and then 1 server EU. Kind of balances out through their seasonal meetings.
Okay, cool. Cool. Right, I believe the teams are ready. We're gonna actually start joining the server now.
And I'm inside. Once you're in, we'll restart and we'll go live.
Okay, I don't want to leak the password, so
Yeah, please don't.
just gonna type it in now. Sorry, that's me concentrating on typing.
I believe in you.
Right, and I'm in.
Let's go.
So, whilst we're loading up and ready to rock and roll, I believe there is a burn round they're going to have to go through first. Flashpoint is a very distinctive map. We have got ourselves the 2 main buildings in the middle. And then you've also got like a construction, what would you call it? It's more like a dumping site, I suppose, for like dirt and stuff. On the right side where one of the points that goes.
Off. It kind of looks like a crane, little bit of a thing, but yeah, it's a weird building.
It's a bit of just a weird building. It's got multiple floors.
It's a bit of a
quite
weird.
open.
I mean, consider that there's a flashpoint on that building, and we call it nozzle. So you'll see when we play, that's what the flashpoint's called. So we're just gonna call it nozzle building. Kind of works. And that's the good thing about the flashpoints is we can just name the buildings after the flashpoints, which makes it a lot easier than just having to name buildings on the fly when there's not universal callouts for these maps.
Yeah, exactly. Like if we can jump into the bird's eye view in a second, we can kind of like show off the scape of each of the areas, because Flashpoint is quite a hard map to kind of gauge where people are. It's very close knitted, and the buildings are so damn close that you can kind of get confused where you're calling out the enemy, because you could say, yeah, he's on the 2nd floor of nozzle building, and then within 2 seconds of that call out, he could be down on the floor, because it's all so open. And with the specialists as well, for example, Sundance, it's going to be excelling in this map, especially because all you have to do is get high ground. You can fly from one side of the map to the other, and it can just get insane like that.
It's going live right now.
Yep, so we're live now, and we're inside a Flashpoint here. seVen versus CHiPs. seVen coming out strong at the moment. Let's see if CHiPs can hold them back. And let's jump over to one of the first-person views and see what they're up to. So,
first Flashpoint is SR3 entrance.
Okay. So we're over to, I believe, 7 at the moment here. So we're actually looking at low jacks. Now low jack's spawning back in. In Sundance, got himself a building position straight away. Not going to utilize it. It's actually going to go for the back push to go down this this lovely tunnel and see if there's any enemies there. His teammates already cleared it out. So they're going to be making their way now to what you would call the what would you call it, Duis? The nozzle?
It's
The nozzle building?
The nozzle building, yeah, that's because Flashpoint 4 is on there.
Yeah, okay. So we're over on nozzle. And looks like Low Jax is going to be taking a back route, flying over to the building next to Nozzle, and it's going to be looking over towards K1 and K2. I'm going to be naming their buildings by their actual designation of building, especially when it comes to the 2 in the middle there. And looks like Low Jax is starting to take fire from the left side at K1, and
we have
got
a
through the
rebel
truck
here.
as well. Cold Rebel. I'm renaming buildings.
So this
left, right, center.
Flashpoint is called Machinery, so that'll be Machinery Building. I feel like this is like a Dora the Explorer kind of episode. What building is this? Machinery Building. Say it after me, kids.
Way! Okay, so they are on top of it now. I'm actually looking at this third person view at the third person. I'm looking at this bird's eye view at the moment, so we can actually see from my point of view of the squad that I'm currently in, and I'm not participating, but I can see the squad I'm currently in, where their movements are. And you can actually see the red dots as well appearing off the map as well. And you can see they're inside this building. We've got a few red dots appearing here from Chip's side, and there's a lot of incoming combat. And you can see there's gunfire going off. That was the rooftop there, I believe, from Sandy, I believe. He's spawning back in. Since he's gone down, Low Jax is there. And we've got Green Reaper, and we've also got Casual still holding firm in the objective. It is currently under Chip's control. And we can see a flank there coming in from a member of Chips. And looks like he gets slotted and taken down. So I am going to spawn back in. I am going to get myself my third person view. And let's have a look. So, look at the Low Jax. Honestly, chilling inside the objective here on Machinery. Just having a whale of a time. His teammates are there for backup as well. Cincy, I believe, is already trying to rotate towards the next objective. Because he's actually at the back of the map at the moment, looking around. And Sandy's also on the rotation. So we're going to be looking at the next objective in about 30 seconds. Yeah, Low Jack's absolutely throwing me off with that mad sensitivity, by the way. Absolutely insane. We've actually got the first person view of Low Jax at the moment as well. And you can just see him twitching from side to side there. Just keep an eye on it, every like door, every like nook and cranny that Chips can actually appear from. Oh, and he just gets smashed from behind. Just gets annihilated, the poor man. All of that looking around. And this happens a lot in competitive games.
Increase in sensitivity at this point because it wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, he needs to go all the way up now. But you see it a lot in competitive games. You know, you're watching angles constantly. The moment you deviate and you just go, I'll be alright. That's when you get hit. That is exactly when you get hit.
And guess what building the Flashpoint is in right now? Your favorite.
K1?
Nozzle building.
It's a nozzle. Alright. Oh yeah, I can see the fight on nozzle now. So we're on nozzle. Lovely shots coming out there from Low Jax. Low Jax will be going out since he's actually almost dead. So he's actually having an active firefight here with a member of Chips at the moment. Going to be crossing over now towards the K2 building. Go on, Duez. Give me the name of those two buildings. What have you named them?
Which ones?
K1 and K2. The two middle buildings.
Oh, K2. Huh. Well, the right middle one, which has Flashpoint 3 in it, which is monitoring station, that has to be monitoring station building.
Monitoring station.
And the one right below it is mining storage, so that has to be mining storage building.
Right, fair.
It's a bit long, so I'm sure people have to come up with some abbreviation.
Yeah, I reckon the guys here will have their own shortened versions of it, I reckon.
Yeah. By the time you say you're dead, because the call out is way too long.
Yeah. By the way, this guy's in monitoring building 1.
That blows up. Yeah. Maybe not.
Oh, I'm already dead. You called it too late. What do you mean? So we're currently watching. Well, I'm currently watching Sandy Cheeks at the moment. Here is actually making his way over towards Story. I think it's Did we say it was mining storage, Lewis?
Right now, they're on fuel processing. That's the flash.
Fuel processing.
That's on.
Okay, so on fuel processing at the moment here, and we've got Lojax and Sandy actually on the back foot. And looks like Green Reap and Casual are actually off the point as well. So Chips is actually in control of this point at the moment, and they've got a lovely, lovely point because it is quite a lot of floors as well. So they've got a nice overview of all the open ground on the left side towards Nozzle. And I just seen an RPG go off there. It didn't connect, unfortunately, but I always like to see RPGs go off and kill people inside of competitive games. It's always a bit of a good laugh when you see someone take a rocket to the face. Right, gonna go redeploy and let's have a look at that third-person view once again. So, how are Chips looking now at the moment? Because they've just come off holding fuel processing, and we're looking at 161 to 79 at the moment. So they are not in the lead. SeVen are in the lead still at the moment, but it's quite a small gap technically.
Yeah, to be honest, if you can get a couple flashpoints here in a row and kind of hold them, that leads back in there. Plus, there's 7 minutes left on the clock, so there's plenty of time to kind of make that comeback. I think ideally, even if you don't take the lead, you really just want to reduce that gap as much as possible going into the next side, so you can at least play the win on the next one.
Yeah, without a doubt. And by the looks of it, Cincy Squad and Lojax unfortunately just got wiped there as well. So Chip is definitely coming in and then getting those squad kills and then resetting the enemy back to their you know their initial spawn-ins, which unfortunately doesn't get them on the position if they had a member anchoring inside of that point or nearby. And looks like Cincy goes down, leaving just Sandy Cheeks now on his own. And yeah, Chip's doing a very good job of holding here. And again, they've got the point. We're about to hit 100 points here for Chips versus 179. They're closing that distance. They are closing that distance.
We're losing people!
And again, another wipe. Chips doing an amazing job so far.
Yeah, and it's also important to have multiple people right next to the flashpoint, because sometimes you'll have one just outside, but you get killed. By the time that other person rotates, you're losing 3, 4, 5 points, which are gonna really add up at the end of the round. So it's really important to stay within 10 meters of that flashpoint with multiple people.
Yeah, I'm just jumping over the Chip side of things here in the first-person viewer, just to see how well they're holding. Now, I believe they unfortunately just got wiped, the guys that we are watching. Now, they are going to spawn back in. But I believe that flashpoint is pretty much on its way out. Like 1 second till disable. Yeah, so 1 second. And their spawn is actually ideal. They literally spawned in on machinery. I got it right this time. So actually on machinery this time around. And they're already in there. They're already in there. Now it's SeVen's time to go back in and try and take this away from them. So it's been the most ideal spawn that Chips could ask for.
Yeah, plus Chips seem to really have learned that rotation, which is really important to, you know, rotate early. Especially if, you know, a couple seconds left on the flashpoint, you really want to keep one guy there to finish those last few seconds and then rotate as early as possible. You don't want to rotate and the other team is already just waiting for you there and you know, having that advantage. Yeah,
and that's a common mistake in most of these type of modes where you've always got to rotate towards your next objective. If you don't do it soon enough, you're just going to get caught out, either on the way or they've already moved in and they've taken the objective before you have. So you kind of got to get your rotations in way before or around about the same time as the enemy team starting to rotate as well. Or even if you wipe them. If you wipe the enemy team, leave one man behind. Start rotating. If that man gets dropped, you know there's only a few seconds left at that objective. It's not that many points to lose when you can claim the next objective and keep hold of it for longer. Just look at the Sandy Cheeks at the moment along here with Cincy and Lojax, and they've got themselves the high ground. And they're having a massive firefight at the moment here. Absolutely going for it, and they're trying their best to keep hold of this, but Chips are just constantly moving in and going for it. And SeVen still holding that lead, but again, it has closed quite a lot. We're looking at 150 to 230 now. However, SeVen does have the overall advantage on this objective, so that's going to keep going up here for SeVen.
Yeah, Chips really need to do something right now, whether you're making this 100-point difference, which is it's going to be hard to come back from. You know, that made it to 70, 80 points, but SeVen's running away with it right now.
Yeah, and they're getting those rotations off as well. They're already making their way over towards Nozzle. And I believe, I mean, Cincy's just running. Yeah, I mean, Lojax was already in Nozzle. Sandy, by the looks of it, Lojax already got wiped off a Nozzle. So Pharaoh and Nico are already up there. And Casual was gone as well. Green Reaper picks up a kill against Snake. And Nico going down to Sandy. So I think seVen's slowly going to start rotating back into Nozzle and reclaiming it for their own.
Yeah, these last 3 minutes of this map side are really gonna determine kind of the outcome of this match.
Yeah, since he's got himself a juicy high ground there, he just takes down Myla as he comes up from the rope there. Sandy cheats coming up for the backup after Cincy getting dropped by Nico and jumping straight into the fight here. And yeah, seems to has the overall control. We got 15 seconds left on this point. A member of Chip, Zupper to be exact, tried to get in there. Bit of friendly fire go down as well, by the way, since he killing off Lojax.
Yeah, and Chips has already rotated to fuel processing, so they're kind of there ahead and hoping to at least make back some points. They only have 7 points to give right now, so they really need to reduce that as much as possible. Because going back into the next side with 140 point difference, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, and I also feel like seVen are a bit more relaxed now. By the looks of it, they're taking different angles and they're trying to get themselves into different locations because they know they've got such a marginal lead here. And just showing here, Sandy Cheats going off for a few shots of fuel processing, gets on top of the building. He's actually utilizing. There we go. He was actually utilizing his pistol for a second there, but he's actually switched over to the PBX once again. But here comes Lojax, flying through, going past Nozzle now, utilizing the extra mobility from Sundance there, going up the rope. He's probably going to take the flight again in a second. Wait, have they've got control all of a sudden? No, they haven't. They're still fighting over with Chips at the moment here, but it looks like quite a lot of seVen are inside the objective here, and we're still looking at 7 seconds remaining, and they've got control, and by losing it at the end, this game is actually concluding now in this first round almost. Wait, no, they wiped them! Oh my god, I just saw it.
Can they get a couple more points? I think the issue is that seVen is probably already rotating to mining storage, so as soon as that point comes up...
Yeah, because they were on top of fuel processing, and that's what took them up to 299, but they all got wiped instantly by a member of Chips, which stopped that initial 300 count. So I thought they was going to win it then, but a member of Chips...
This is maybe exactly what they needed to actually, you know, make something happen next side.
Yeah. Well played to Chips there, able to get the kill there and just stop that immediate win. Because I was calling it, because I didn't see anyone else on the objective. And I was like, right, okay, yeah, seVen's got it in the back. Then
I'm not talking anymore. I don't want to jinx this.
I remember Chips comes up, slays out seVen, and you can see now that it's getting close. It's getting super close. All we need is a member of seVen to clear it. If a member of seVen clears it, it's GG's. If Chips is able to stay on form, I was going to say, able to stay on form, they're able to get it back. But the guys of seVen are able to come in and get that 300 count to 245. So only a 55 point lead there. Green Reaper with 29 and 15, by the way. Reap coming in with a massive feed there. 21 and 19 to Milo, though. I mean, Chip's slaying as well. Well played to both teams. We're going to be jumping into the next round.
But honestly, that's why I love this mode, because that's such a crazy comeback. I mean, you know, 3 minutes left, you're 150 points down. Last minute, you keep it alive with 1 point left for seVen to close out that round, and you make back 100 points. That's crazy. That could really be the difference between them taking this map and making it a 2-1 match instead of a 3-0. Because you really want that extra map. You know, that differential end of the season can make a difference on your win-loss. So,
and it just shows as well how much a single player can actually change the tide of a battle. Like, if you think all is lost, and just it all takes one of your guys to wipe the enemy squad on the objective, and it just stops them in their tracks and allows you to, you know, close that distance even further. Even if you are going to lose that initial round, you close the distance on that score, it makes it better for you in the next round. Okay, so they're not live just yet. We've got White.
I think they will be live, yeah.
Oh, one of them's crashed.
Oh, one of them crashed?
Yeah. I think a member of CHiPs crashed out. Yeah, so a member of CHiPs crashed out. So on that regard, we wait for him to rejoin, I assume?
Yeah, we're gonna wait until he's back, and then we're gonna restart and then go live. So hopefully, just a couple minutes, guys, and we'll see this exciting. And I really hope they're gonna, you know, make us dream until the end of the round. I don't want, you know, seVen, you've won. Let's make this interesting. Let's give the people what they want.
You don't want to look at my screen right now. There's a lot of friendly fire going off there, and I'm included, obviously. But me not dishing out the friendly fire, me taking the friendly fire.
Okay, you're just being practice
Just being a
dummy.
punch bag.
That works. All right, it's live as soon as it's ready. So let's see if CHiPs can pull off this map win after all, or if seVen's gonna close this out with a dominant 3-0.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what CHiPs can do. They've already shown they can, you know, they can claw their way back in the first round. Let's see if they can claw their way back and even go further in this round. Right, I believe we're in. I'm gonna get myself redeployed, and let's have a look at those first-person views. Let's see what their rotations are looking like. Let's see what the teams are up to. I'm currently looking over towards the LoJax, who's already thrown himself in there, being that lovely Sundance, able to close that distance real quick. And looks like they're having a big old fight straight away. And who's going to be coming out on top? Looks like seVen's going to be on the objective to start with. Their CHiPs, unfortunately, getting thrown back to the spawn screen. And looks like we've got a member of CHiPs that are holding up the top there, which is Nico. But since he shuts him down there with the the PBX, and is going to be looking to take the rooftop for himself now. So, at the moment, CHiPs has control.
Double.
Oh, and as soon as I say CHiPs has control, they lost control, but the rotations are coming in.
Jinxed it.
The rotations are also coming in, so I can understand now that they're rotating already for the next, which is going to be machinery.
Yeah, they rotated hella early, though. That was really good, to be honest.
Yeah, they kind of understood that the objective didn't have much time left on it. So, and they know how aggressive seVen is pushing. So if they knew it was behind them, so they started to pull back slowly, and start securing that objective as well, making it harder for seVen to get inside of machinery, because it is just a enclosed building. And yeah, they can fight over the doors and coming through the windows and through the walls and stuff, but it's getting set up and getting in those corners, and just making it harder for seVen to push in is what you want to see them do. So I'm just looking at Sandy Cheeks at the moment here. And he is currently just holding the top end there. You can see the Sundance flying off on the left side, already starting to rotate towards the two buildings in the center. And a few shots going off there from Sandy Cheeks with his secondary. He's going to be looking to start that rotation as well. I mean, 20 seconds left on the clock. Who is left on the objective defending? I don't think it's a member of the squad I'm currently a part of. Cincy, perhaps? No, he's not even in there either. So it is a member of either Green Reaper, or Casual that has decided to stay behind there. And Sandy Cheeks, LoJax, and Cincy able to move forth now and try and go for the next objective.
Yeah, I don't know what CHiPs are doing. They're really holding the outer skirts and the roofs of this, but they're not on point, which is definitely gonna hurt them. Because it's important to notice that while you have to be within 10 meters of the flashpoint, there's a height limit, so you can't be 10 meters above and still capture the flashpoint. You need to be on the same level, plus or minus a meter. So, you know, for those who don't know, you can't just sit on the roof and capture it. That would not make any sense.
That was an interesting play, by the way, from Myla here. Being the Falk medic. Depleted all syringes onto the floor, allowing teammates to pick them up without him having to actively heal them. And those syringes will stay there and able to be picked up. You can see them kind of on the. I know he's dead at the moment, but you can kind of see the UI for them on the floor, showing that there are syringes on the floor. So his teammates could actually run over them if they took combat damage. So it's quite a nice thing to see, and it's very off the path. You know, it's something an experienced player would utilize in a competitive environment. I don't think you'd use it in a casual environment. And it just shows like the tactics you would develop once you start playing competitive.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely little tips and tricks and little meta plays like that that really only have place in this environment, and stuff that you only kind of think about and start doing once you play against players of a certain caliber. So.
Yeah, exactly. I just seen Cincy coming in. He was actually being a sneaky boy, just waiting around the corner there, and he managed to get hold of 2 kills. But unfortunately, does go down to Zupper. But still, just being able to stop Chips from pushing over towards Nozzle just by chilling next to a random shipping container and just waiting, just being patient and just waiting for the enemy to run past. It looks like we've only got 10 seconds left on Nozzle. So I want to see those rotations coming in now. So I believe Cincy's already on it.
Nozzle to fuel processing rotation really has to be done early by at least one player on that squad. But I don't think that rotation did come in early. So I think seVen's going to be able to rack up a couple more points to even this out.
Yeah, seVen's already on it. I spotted Cincy. Cincy already made that rotation. He actually didn't even step on Nozzle. He was in between both objectives. He was actually waiting next to that container, got a few kills, went down, spawned back in, went straight over to fuel processing. Did not even stop. So he already got the rotation. His teammates followed shortly after, and looks like now we're having a fight over. Looks like it's revolver versus revolver at the moment here, from fuel processing over towards the mid sections. And looks like Sandy Cheeks is actually jumping into the combat now, going in for the revives, picking his teammates back up, and getting them straight back into the fight.
Yeah, honestly, that early rotation by Cincy might just win them the map after all. I mean, it's a bit early to see, but you know, every point counts at this point, especially when you have chips that need a 56 point advantage to win.
Yeah,
all looking good right now.
I feel like seVen knows that they only need to hit a certain threshold to stop chips in their tracks, so they're trying their best to get this done, and then I reckon for the rest of the game they'll just be I know seVen, and I feel like they will get a bit funny and start messing about a little bit.
And when you earn it, you earn it, you know?
Soldier down!
Exactly.
Soldier down!
So since he definitely does have a mid-game advantage here, he's actually sitting on the walkway between both buildings, and he's just utilised the top windows there looking for the enemy, and he finds one in the corner there. Casual coming in with the kill though, he does get the assist for it. Zupa goes down, and having that overall control the high ground, you could just get so many angles against the enemy there. Well played the Chips though for being able to hold the objective, and going up against these players who are just above them and just going to be shooting down into real weird angles, and you're just staying alive, really. It's hard to do that when you've got multiple players just in all different windows above you. And is that cleared? Wait, we've got member Chips here. Zupa does go down, but since he comes in with the lovely friendly fire kill, kills off Sandy Cheeks. So he helps his enemy out. But looks like the rotations are going back in now. With, what? Well, yeah, it's already gone in. So, Chips, do they have control at the moment?
They do, but they did do kind of a late rotation, so I don't know. They need to step it up there because they got lucky here with a few good frags, but you need to rotate early. At least one guy rotate early.
Yeah, especially when you know you're on the back foot here. You want to get those rotations in nice and early. Chips still doing an amazing job. They actually managed to wipe out LoJax's squad here, so they're going to be reset back to fuel processing, and they're going to have to try and fall back into the fray here, which only leaves Green Reaper and Casual at the front line a minute until they actually rejoin the fight. So Chips still at the advantage at the moment on this objective, but I want to see the rotations now towards the next objective coming in, seeing that we only have 5 seconds to go. Let's see if they decide to do it, or they're just going in for the kills like I thought they might do. So Sandy Cheeks there taking down Snake, who was already on the objective still. And looks like they've already rotated over towards Nozzle and heading over towards Machinery. Look for the enemy. Looks like Chips already inside. By the way, Chips in the lead. I'm actually going to jump over and have a look at Chip's first-person view from Myla.
They really need to recover though, because that lead, they need that 55 point.
They do. Myla spawned off as far away as possible. This isn't a good spawn for Chips. They're coming in from fuel processing to run across map to machinery. Now that seVen's in control with 30 seconds remaining on that objective. That is a chunky amount of points there for seVen. So able to take down Casual there, taking incoming fire as well. And I believe that is a member of seVen. Actually, never mind, he just got absolutely slotted on the way down. Myla going down there as well, from Chips at the midsection towards Nozzle. And I want to see those rotations coming off once again here, as the lead is actually closing in even further. Chips does have control of the next objective.
They better keep it if they want to win.
Yeah, they need to hold all the objectives now.
No,
they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to leave any given ground at all. But well played. I'm still looking at Myla at the moment here from Chips. He's able to hold some nasty angles there against Cheeks. And the monitoring station is about to expire in about 30 seconds, right? So now you're going to be looking at wanting to get those rotations.
Yeah.
20 seconds. So you kind of want to get those rotations in a little bit now.
For sure.
Because if you don't, seVen's just going to get you on that.
Especially you need a 56 point lead to win this, so they're almost there, but they can't mess up right now.
Yeah, they need to get themselves rotated nicely now. And by the looks of it, they've actually started that rotation. Looks like spawn was blocked 10 meters in front of an enemy, so unfortunately gets sent back to the screen. We're heading over to Nozzle next. And by the looks of it, Nozzle might already be under seVen control. They were there originally fighting Chips when Chips was on monitoring station. And yes, they are there indeed. But lovely kill against Cincy there coming in from Myla. And they're able to get it back. Well played. But again, as soon as I say that, LoJax from behind gets the counter kill. And just like that, seVen is now on top of the objective.
Oh boy, not at the end like this. They get 246, it's over.
Chips moving in still. Are they able to clear off seVen from the point? seVen's picked up the kills again.
All. 10 seconds. They need to rotate early and just keep it.
Yeah, Chips needs that rotation now.
27 seconds. Yeah, right away. They cannot mess this one up. This is the last shot. They're on it.
seVen's already reacted as well. LoJax utilizing Sundance, flying straight towards the objective on fuel processing. Going to be jumping into the battlefield, going up the rope as well. So he's going to actually have the high ground here against anyone that's not already up there with him. And looks like he's going to get a few shots off here if he's able to find the feet of the enemy. He does find one. Takes down Nico. Keeps pushing forth here. And just like that, the objective's under seVen control. That high ground is was nasty. It was a great move there from LoJax being Sundance. Able to close the field like within seconds. Goes up the rope and gets a high ground against Chips and the enemy there.
And seVen win this map as well, my goodness. What a close game this was. I mean, it's still not over this side, but...
Well played though on Flashpoint. Like I said, Flashpoint was a different ball game for seVen.
For
after
sure.
coming off Squad
It's
Obliteration.
such different playstyles too, so I think every team will have their bit of a strong point.
Yeah, and you can see Chips are definitely more attuned to Flashpoint because they're able to, you know, pick up those kills, get the rotations, and get the points closed in as well. You can see it in this game mode. So, any words of wisdom from you, Mr. Dues?
No. I mean, I'm just happy that we saw a very close match at the end. I think going back to Flashpoint, it was good. I think Arica, I think we're all a little bit disappointed that it ended as quickly as it did. Especially because Spearhead was a bit closer than that. But it's definitely nice seeing you know, multiple modes being played and different types of playstyles shining. And you know, seVen here, just so much experience. You know, so many years on the battlefield on both Xbox and now PC, and that experience is just, you know, shining through. So it's definitely good to see newer teams like CHiPs getting involved in these kinds of events, and I hope, you know, to see a lot more from them moving forward. Even if the scene is just kind of restarting now. And I think this spectator setup we have here is definitely interesting. But, you know, hopefully the rest of the season goes well, and we can keep seeing more from all these players.
Yeah, and seeing Battlefield's comp scene, you know, still pushing forth. With 2042, as we all know, we haven't got the greatest tools, but we're making do with what we've got. So that's the main thing. We're making do with what we've got, and you can see that comp is still running and it's still going. But GG's to both teams. GG's to seVen for the win. GG's to CHiPs. Valiant fought, great fight, amazing last 2 rounds, by the way. Well played on Flashpoint. You did a real good job. Yeah, very good. It's always good to see new comp teams coming in and do real well. It just shows that there's a lovely population of competitive gamers up there, especially for Battlefield and other first-person titles as well.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, I'm just excited for next Sunday.
What do we know what's on the cards for next Sunday yet, or is it still to be decided?
I don't know because teams have to get organized, but there is a matchup next week that I'm really looking forward to. But I don't know when they're playing yet. I am hoping they're playing this weekend, and as soon as we know, we'll let people know. There's Matrix, which I think is one of the better EU teams, and then seVen, which is arguably the better NA team right now. And I think those two teams are easily going to compete for top 2 spots throughout the season. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how those two teams match up. I don't know if they're going to be playing Sunday at this time, but I'm really hoping we can convince them to do so we can, you know, kind of see what it's all about.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. seVen, and I want to see seVen put in their paces. You know, I want to see these guys sweat it out. I want to see these guys go head to head and actually fight for their hard-given victories. seVen has a ability to hold massive momentum and do it quickly. I want to see someone with the same with the same run-in, you know, to give seVen a nice good old punch, you know. And especially in the last game of Flashpoint just then, CHiPs was giving seVen a good punch. Yeah, it unfortunately wasn't enough to win, but it was getting close. And then towards the end of that second round, it was looking a bit hairy for seVen. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I just want to, tomorrow when we upload this on YouTube, I just want to watch that first side of Flashpoint where they just held off at one point left, and you know that was just beautiful. So yeah, I miss seeing these kind of plays, and it's really good to see them back.
Yeah, and you can see the guys are enjoying it as well. It's always the good thing, watching these teams and actually enjoy playing in a competitive environment, because there isn't much of a competitive environment in 2042 at the moment in the form of an official capacity. Yes, we've had like event game modes that DICE have released. Like, for example, I believe your game mode was featured at one point as well on the weekly list. So
yeah, we did. We had Flashpoint featured and Squad Obliteration featured. So
yeah,
it's definitely really good to see recognition from them on our work. And you know, I would definitely have to give a big shout out to people like Mancor, which we built Flashpoint with, and people like No Name, who's inactive now, that we built Squad Obliteration with, because you know there's so many months of work put into this, so many hours testing. You know, I spent so many hundreds of hours just in empty servers testing stuff out, trying to break stuff. And you know, talking about spending hours and hours in servers, I definitely got to give out a shout out to the late Jordy, which spent a lot of times in servers with me, making sure these modes were as good as they could be before releasing to the public. So I'm happy that these modes are being played, and that I think part of his legacy lives on through them.
Yeah, definitely with Jordy as well. I've casted for Jordy for a very long time. and I was actually playing with him as part of his team for well, we was going to participate in ESB, and yeah, it was a great lad and an absolutely amazing guy, and it was a massive hit to the heart when we all heard the news about it. It wasn't a good day for the Battlefield team, but his like his energy is running with us still going into Battlefield 2042 competitive, and it will carry with us
For sure.
throughout the whole lifetime of Battlefield competitive. So we're going to be here for it and here for Geordie as well.
Yep. And I think before we start cutting more onions, I think we're gonna call it a night.
Yes. Before we count it, guys, thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed the cast with me and Duez. I've been liking MB. We've had codename Duez here on the other side of me. You didn't see him today. He has been hidden behind his computer. He's going to show. Hopefully, he shows his beautiful face soon.
I promise I will. Today, just the lighting setup wasn't ready, and with everything that was going on before, I didn't have time to get everything. But I promise the next Sunday, I'll put the green screen up, I'll reset my lighting, and we'll have some fun.
Okay, so we get to see his beautiful face next time. So that's always good to see. So guys, thank you for joining, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Only on esportbf.com.